Hello, Kernels! Welcome to PopCon Slimes. My name is Michelle, and today I will be reviewing DSP Slimes. This is more of a smaller slime shop, and I was really intrigued with their slimes because they look super awesome on Instagram and on their Etsy listing, so I wanted to try them out. I ordered a total of 4 slimes. At this time they had a promotion of buy 3 get 1 free, so that is what I did. It took about 10 days for my package to arrive, which is not unusual with the slower delay times right now. All of my slimes came in this blue bubble mailer, and however they were not individually wrapped, which was okay. They were all safe and sound when they arrived. Although I was very disappointed to see that the extras and add-ins were not labeled and they were kind of mixed up during transit, so it was a guessing game of figuring out what went to what slime. I will say I was very excited and spoiled with the 2 candies that I got. I also received a business card and some borax. The first slime I ordered was called Pumpkin Spiced, and it was a mimic of a Ben & Jerry's looking ice cream container. I thought this label was so cute, and I really enjoyed the art behind it. This was advertised as an ice cream slime that is pumpkin spice themed. As you can see, it came with this cute little pumpkin charm, which was pretty stuck to the slime. I had some difficulties getting it out, but I was able to get it out and it was super cute. This to me smelled just like the ice cream slime that I received from Corn with Slime. It was labeled on Corn with Slimes as a raspberry chocolate chip ice cream scent, and I think that is actually pretty accurate, and that is what this one is scented. So I was a little surprised because it was called pumpkin, and I really thought that there was going to be more of a pumpkin or somewhat of a fall or, pumpkin spice or some of those pumpkin spice seasonings that you could smell through it. I've actually never had a pumpkin ice cream, so I'm not sure what it would smell like, but I just was kind of disappointed it smelled like the black cherry ice cream that I've smelt before. In this slime were just a few, maybe 4 or 5 sprinkles. Again, on the listing, it looked like there were going to be more sprinkles added into this slime, so that was a little bit disappointing. I will say that I do know that this is an ice cream or icy texture. It almost kind of feels like a cloud cream to me, and unfortunately there was a lot of snow fallout. If you don't already know, I am not a huge fan of snow fallout, and I really don't like it under my nails, so for me this slime was kind of hard to play with. The scent wasn't really there for me. It wasn't that it was bad, it's just not what I was expecting in terms of fall. However, with all that said, this is not a bad slime. I think that it has some qualities and that if you like icy and don't mind the fallout, it will be totally fun for you. However, I did order these slimes in an attempt to have somewhat of a fall theme, and that fell short here with this slime. For all of those reasons, I am giving this slime 4 out of 5 popcorns. The next slime I ordered was called Apple Cider Donut. I will again mention that I really like these labels because they tell you what kind of slime they are and the scents that are inside and their name, which is really nice. So the base of this slime was a clear, thick slime, and it was very dark brown. It was a little bit darker than I would have liked to see for cider. It almost reminded me of an ale or a syrup. Inside, there were also apple Fimo slices, which helped bring back that apple cider feel. This clear slime was a bit sticky, but I knew I was going to add stuff in, so I didn't want to activate it right away until I added in the add-ins. So this apple cider donut slime came with, of course, a little donut. However, it did stick to the container that it was in during packaging. Perhaps putting it in a different way would make for a better experience because it was pretty destroyed on the bottom when I first got it, and I had to reassemble it the best that I could. To make the powdered donut, I was provided with a bag of cornstarch, which I was able to dump out on the table and then roll my cute little clay donut inside. This clay donut was really unique because it was mixed with some snow fizz as well to give it some texture. I really enjoyed being able to roll my powdered donut and make it my own. I thought that was so fun. After everything was assembled, I took some of the clear slime and did a little drizzle over my powdered donut. And oh my gosh, this was so cute and so fun to do. It was super satisfying, and I thought this really brought in all of the aspects of the slime and made it so fun. Mixing this slime was definitely a different experience than I've ever had before because of the way the cornstarch interacted with the clear slime and with the clay that was added in. It became really thick and a lot of textures were going on. I was actually afraid this was going to rubber up on me because of the cornstarch, so I took it out of the jar to see if I could incorporate it a little bit more. So I was able to get the donut mixed in, and this mixing experience was fun. I really enjoyed it. It looked so cool mixing in. It turned into almost like a cobbler or pie filling looking thing. If you've ever made pie filling on the stove, when you put in all the brown sugar, it kind of looks like this at first, and that's what it reminded me of. I will say that the adding of the donut did not help with the stickiness, so I did have to activate this slime quite a bit. I'm going to be a little harsher on clear slimes now because of all of the ones that are now being coated, so it was a little sticky and perhaps adding a coat to it would make it more enjoyable. This was definitely a table slime. It was super stretchy, a little bit sticky, but it gave off really nice bubble pops, and it was super fun to stretch and see all of the add-ins in the clear slime and then bring it back down for those amazing bubble pops. The final texture of this slime is a somewhat jelly slime. I think the cornstarch adds somewhat of an instant snow effect, and this slime with the clear base became very thick and jiggly and felt a lot like a jelly slime. While I wish the apple scent was a little bit more apple cider or a little bit more on the dessert side because this was a very dessert-like slime, I still enjoyed this slime, and the end jelly texture was really fun to play with. For all of those reasons, I am giving this slime 4 out of 5 popcorns. Next up is Cinnamon Bun. This is another DIY clay slime that I purchased. This slime came with a thick and glossy base that had some goldish red orange glitters inside to kind of look like cinnamon, and it was really cool. I really enjoyed the base of this slime. It was so thick and so pokeable. I really liked it. Additionally, the base of this slime was scented like cinnamon and icing. It was a little bit heavier on the icing side, but I'm okay with that, and it was not a very strong smell overall. I will say that this slime was so thick that it did rubber up, and when I tried to do my wide pulls, it didn't really work out. But like I said before, I always try to judge the slimes at their final state because adding other things in can really change the texture. This slime came with a very cute cinnamon bun clay piece that was not damaged at all and was just perfect. Okay, so here's the part where I messed up. I thought this was icing to go on top of the cinnamon bun, and I was really confused when I opened it because it was definitely a butter slime, and I was like, I'm not sure how this is gonna drizzle on the cinnabon. Turns out when I looked back at the images, this is not correct. On the image on Etsy, it looks like there's a glaze on the cinnabon, but when I look at the other slime, which I will show you in a little bit, it has a whipped topping, which would make more sense that it's a butter to be a whipped topping for a clay piece. So pardon me while I tried to drizzle this butter slime, which did not work, but I was convinced it was the icing for the top. Like I've said before, I really appreciate it when shops label their extras or label any add-ins or tape them to the slime that they go with, because then I know how to put it together. Even though this was not put together correctly, I thought it looked really cute in the end. Mixing clay into slime is always super satisfying. I love seeing the color changes, and this white and brown swirl was so beautiful and reminded me of cinnamon buns perfectly. I will say that because the clay was a little stiff and this thick base was a little stiff and rubbery, it was kind of hard to mix together. It was not super fun to pull, it was kind of tough, and it is definitely not a slime I would recommend if you have sensitive joints. It could be that this texture was completely destroyed because I added that little bit of butter slime to it, and therefore it made it too thick and too much clay inside. However, I am still going to rate the slime as is because that is the experience I had, and I think that a lot of other people could make this mistake, so I want to rate the slime for what my experience was. For all of those reasons, I am giving this slime 4 out of 5 popcorns. The last slime I got was called Old Fashioned Apple Crisp. This also had a beautiful label like the other ones, and had I maybe inspected the label a little bit closer before assembling the slime, I would have saw that it said it's a DIY clay slime. However, in the listing on my purchase, it just is called an Old Fashioned Apple Crisp slime, so I was unaware that the clay piece was to be added to this one. The base of this slime was a full slushy bead slime. I really liked the base. I thought it was a really good base for slushy beads. It made some great ASMR and was so fun to poke. This slime was scented exactly like the apple cider slime, which was really disappointing to see. I would have liked maybe more of an apple dessert scent or just something to switch it up a little bit so that I wasn't getting the same apple scent in all of these slimes. However, like I said about the first scent, it did smell like fresh apples, specifically like the Bath & Body Works apple soap, and it was delicious. I thought this was such a nice slushie. It had some great stretches and pulls and was not too tacky. Additionally, this DIY came with a baggie of brown snow fizz to act as the cinnamon streusel crumble on this apple crisp. It also came with a bag of clear slime filled with jelly cubes scented like apple as well to represent the apple filling in this crisp. This slime was also supposed to come with a clay DIY topping that you can make into a little whipped topping. However, like I mentioned before, I done messed up really bad and I accidentally put the clay slime in the other DIY clay because I was under the impression that this was more of a DIY snow fizz than a clay. I really liked the snow fizz on its own. I thought it was a perfect color for apple crisp, and it was super fun to play with. My only critique about these side slimes that go on top was that they came in these plastic baggies, which felt impossible to get the slime out of. So I would have liked to see them in little containers just so that it was easier to get out. And then I got all of the slime, especially with this clear slime add-in. You want to make sure you have all the slime because that can really vary the texture that you get. Though not completely assembled as it was meant to be, I thought this looked really cute when put together. I also got some really awesome ASMR out of these jelly cubes because the clear slime had been sitting with the jelly cubes for a long time. Mixing this slime was super interesting. There was a lot going on with textures. Because of the slushy beads and because of the snow fizz mixing into the base of what felt like a thick and glossy, there was a lot of texture. Additionally, you would get chunks of the apple jelly pieces, and I was a little bit overwhelmed at first, not gonna lie. I thought that maybe it was just too much textures added in at once, and that it just didn't feel fun and you couldn't really enjoy a single texture. After returning to it, I'm less overwhelmed by the texture. Like I said, the snow fizz did kind of disappear and this just became more of a slushy slime with some jelly cubes added in. I really liked the concept. I thought that it smelled like apple and it was really cute and fun to assemble, so that was really great. I enjoy the artistry that went behind it and the creativity. After considering all the DIY aspects and the creativity that went in this slime, I am going to lean more towards a 4 out of 5 popcorns. DSP is a smaller slime shop that I found on Instagram, as I mentioned before. Their slimes look so good on their page and on their Etsy. They look amazing and reasonably priced. Overall, I did not have a bad experience with this shop. They're still small and have some room for improvement, but they are really good, and if you would like to check them out, I have put their information in the description below. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. Please like, subscribe, and comment on this video. I cannot wait to do more for you in the future. Additionally, I will be having a 500 subscriber giveaway, so let's keep going. Make sure if you haven't already, push that subscribe button so we can do this huge giveaway I have planned. Keep poppin' kernels, and I will see you in the next one.